tunnel vision.
It's amazing to see how the machine works. It's got little propellers on it, and it just works its way through.
Crews are moving forward on a massive underground project with minimal disruption. Find out what makes this process different. Park progress.
It is an art, it is a science to them to get those trees relocated.
See the steps the city is taking to move 26 trees to a new home, as one of the city's oldest parks gets a major renovation. Plus a chance to learn what's living in Irving parks and the changes to solid waste collection that take effect December 4th. Now on City Source. A parade through the Heritage District is one way Irving will celebrate the holiday season. Hello and welcome to City Source. I'm Robert Sheik. We'll have the full schedule of holiday events in just a bit, but we begin with progress on a major infrastructure project. And this one involves some innovative technology designed to make the work less disruptive to residents. Thomas Gandy learned about the Cottonwood and Hackberry Interceptor and why it's so important.
This work happening deep below the surface along Riverside Drive is helping prepare the city for the future. As Irving's population of people and businesses grows, studies showed that existing wastewater lines were not enough to meet the needs. To replace the lines, Irving is using an innovative process used by only a few other Texas cities.
Seems very technological, but it's so basic in its nature that I was very, very surprised on the efficiency.
It's called microtunneling. Clearly, there are a number of steps, but at its most basic, a machine down in this shaft is pushing through the earth.
It's amazing to see how the machine works. It's got little propellers on it, and it just works its way through and grinds.
At the same time that the digging the tunnel, you having that pipe being installed at the same time.
And there are a lot of benefits to using this process. If they were not able to microtunnel like this, crews would have to dig trenches the entire length of the line. It is slow and very disruptive work.
So you start cutting everything from the pavement, the shrubs, the trees, the roots, and then you start going into the public and private utility lines.
We would disrupt streets and neighborhoods and golf courses and people's yards.
We might be able to go 5 feet a day, so that would take us close to 1,000 days.
With the microtunneling, traffic disruption is minimal, and the entire project will be finished in about half the time.
It takes off through and goes underneath, so we don't have to disrupt people's lives as much.
The existing wastewater line was 36 inches. The new one is 60 inches, so that provides a lot more capacity. Also, the city is using upgraded materials for the pipes and manholes, an investment meant to last for decades.
Once we are in this depth, in this location, for another 100 years, we'll never come back. So the city invested for this line to make sure that we came in one time and be done.
This project is expected to be complete in July, and the city is already considering the microtunneling process for other projects in Irving. Thomas Gandy for City Source.
In other infrastructure news, the city of Irving is planning a capital improvement project that requires closing a portion of Rochelle Road for 1 year. As part of the Embassy Channel drainage improvements, the Rochelle Road Bridge will be demolished to widen and deepen the channel. The project will help alleviate flooding in the area. The city is holding a public meeting on Thursday, November 16th at 6 p.m. at the Jack D. Huffman Building to provide an overview of the project. Attendees will have the opportunity to ask questions and offer comments. Visit cityofirving.org/Rochelle for more details. Changes are in store for solid waste collection in Irving. The city returns to twice a week manual trash collection on Monday, December 4th. Route maps are posted at cityofirving.org/SWS. They were also mailed to every resident. Travis Schweitzer is Irving's Solid Waste Services Director, and he joins us now. Thanks for being with us,
Absolutely,
Travis.
my pleasure.
All right, so Travis, right off the bat, what brought about the return to twice-a-week trash collection?
Sure. Well, as everyone knows, about a year or so ago, we had to move to once-a-week trash collection due to a lack of employees. Since then, we've analyzed our process and analyzed the system. We've made some changes. We made some changes operationally as well as some wage enhancements. Those changes have allowed us to attract and retain enough people to return back to twice-a-week collection.
So this remains manual collection with waste and plastic bags. What about some of the limits on what can be placed at the curb?
Sure. Currently there's a 15 bag per week limit. Okay, we're moving, once December 4th comes about, we're moving to the twice a week collection. It will be an 8 bag limit per collection day. So it's actually increasing from 15 bags to 16 bags. Typically, a household of 4 produces about 140 pounds of trash per week. With 16 bags, they can weigh up to 50 pounds. That's 800 pounds of capacity. So with that, we feel that we've got enough capacity in the system to handle larger volumes of trash, even with the 8 bag limit.
Obviously, this time of year, leaves falling from the trees, everybody's dealing with it in their yards.
Sure.
What about that? Any limits on those?
No, there's no limits on leaves or grass clippings. We do ask that those bags still remain under the 50-pound limit.
Let's move to some other categories. Brush. What should we do about brush?
Sure. Brush needs to be cut to 4-foot lengths and stacked at the curb. If you have a large log or a stump, we can collect those that are 2 feet in diameter. If you are having work done by a tree trimmer or service provider, landscaper, we ask that those service providers haul away that material as opposed to leaving it on the curb.
Okay, and what about some bulky items like, say, furniture?
Yeah, right, bulky items, furniture, sofas, chairs, beds, mattresses, that sort of thing. We can collect up to 4 of those per week on your collection day.
So how will these rules be enforced if you see someone not following the rules?
Sure. Well, by and large, our residents do a great job abiding by the rules. They're certainly not in place to catch anyone, but there are times where the system is being abused, and with this now being in an ordinance, we can work with the city's code enforcement department to correct those issues as we see them.
And of course, we always want to encourage residents to recycle.
Absolutely.
Are there any changes coming to recycling?
No changes to recycling. We're remaining with a blue bag collection. It'll be once a week. All of Irving's residential trash goes to Irving's landfill. So you want to preserve that landfill as long as possible, and by recycling more, you're preserving the landfill. So we want to make sure that residents are looking online for those items that can be placed in the blue bag and remember to recycle.
Very informative and useful. Thanks so much for being here, Travis.
My pleasure, thank you.
And you can find out more information about all of these changes at cityofirving.org/SWS. And you can view an interactive map that you can use to find your specific street at cityofirving.org/SWS map. Again, these changes take effect on December 4th. We have several stories to share from Irving Parks and Recreation. Our first stop is Keeler Park. It's one of the city's oldest parks, and it's getting a lot of new additions. Crews are making progress on expansion and renovation. That includes adding more than 24 new trees. Thomas is back with that story.
You know, I love what I'm seeing out here.
With new outdoor pickleball courts,
A lot of our residents are engaging in pickleball.
new walking trails, and an expanded playground on the way,
We're going to add a new swing set.
there is a lot of progress to see at Keeler Park. For this story, we're talking trees.
You know, that's one of the things we really pride ourselves on is making sure that we incorporate plenty of trees in our designs.
The city of Irving just added 26 trees to the park, and the process of how they got here is pretty cool to see. It involves this massive machine called a tree spade.
I automatically go back to like a 6-year-old kid. It is amazing to watch how they transplant those trees.
The team is getting the trees from Irving's own tree farm at Mountain Creek Preserve.
Yeah, it's very unique. I'd say there's not too many cities that have this.
They're adapting to our climate and our conditions, and then they're just moved a few miles away.
The trees targeted for transplant have been growing here for about 16 years.
You have to set the tree up for success.
And that spade truck has to operate with precision.
The spade goes 6 feet underground, so once you go into the ground, once you move that plug, there's no going back.
Next up, each tree travels to its new home at Keeler Park, where another spade truck had already prepared a hole to fit the tree, and you can watch it go into place. The city's parks and capital improvement teams carefully selected the locations.
We got to think when we're planting trees, it's not just 5 years or 10 years. These trees are going to be here for 60, 70, 80 years.
The parks team says trees are an important part of every project in Irving.
We've been Tree City certified for going on 15 years now.
We plant a lot of trees throughout the city every year, and that's something that's real important to us.
And on this day, the attention to trees came with a captivating sight to see.
It's a neat process to watch.
It does have a transformer vibe to it because it does look like it can change into something that can walk around.
With the trees in place, the rest of construction is moving forward. And the expanded and updated Keeler Park is expected to open by the end of February.
It makes you feel good that what you're doing is going to be appreciated, and that's ultimately why we do this.
Thomas Gandy for City Source.
Staying on the topic of trees, Irving Parks and Recreation is marking Texas Arbor Day with a tree giveaway. The team is giving away 500 trees of different varieties in 3-gallon containers. The giveaway is Saturday, November 18th, starting at 9 a.m. at Heritage Park in downtown Irving. There's no telling what will grab a child's interest while exploring a park. And at Irving Parks and Recreation's recent Bioblitz, kids learned the scientific answer to the question, what's that?
His name is going to be Rock because he looks like Rock.
Leslie McCarter and other Irving kids are getting an up-close look at all of nature's wonders living in Victoria Park.
I caught him off! I caught him off!
From the little things that fly,
Hey, we got him! Look at him!
to leaves hanging from the sky.
These are what are called opposites.
Those swimming in the water,
It's a turtle! It's a turtle! Oh no, it's gone!
and the things that animals leave on the ground. Irving Parks and Recreation's Bioblitz introduces these kids to everything
A heron!
nature has to offer.
The reactions on their faces, the way that they scream and squeal.
Whoa!
I really enjoy it.
Of course, the kids have funny questions
Sharper than a knife?
and funny answers.
This one probably came
A
from
giraffe!
the wonder and the joy that they have when they find something, the excitement. I get to share in that.
So these kids had most of their questions answered. What's in the water? What's that up in the tree? Ew, what's that on the ground? But we didn't get our question answered. How many people does it take to catch a grasshopper?
I'm telling you, he was this big.
The big bad grasshopper was eventually scooped up.
Wow!
And after the group had a chance to learn about the insect, it was freed.
You're like, man, let me out of here.
Unfortunately for the grasshopper, these kids learned one more valuable lesson. The early bird gets the grasshopper.
That bird just ate it!
Was that the grasshopper?
To find out more about the activities offered at a rec center near you, visit cityofirving.org/rec schedules. Irving Parks and Rec staff has a sparkling new office space to call home. The department hosted an open house to showcase the new workspace on the second floor of the Jack D. Huffman building near City Hall. Among the amenities, customer walk-up windows, a vibrant conference room, and a spacious break room for employees.
You know, everybody's got a little bit more pep in their step in the morning coming in. They're really excited to be here. One of the things at the old spot, you know, right at about 4:59, everybody's kind of like inching towards the door. Here, you know, it's nothing to walk through here about 5:30 and still see people hanging out because they're comfortable.
Parks and Recreation is one of many city departments currently hiring new employees. You can find out more about what jobs are available by visiting cityofirving.org/jobs. Planning for the city's holiday events is in full swing. Applications to participate in this year's holiday parade are due on November 26th. This year's theme is Tales of the Holidays. It kicks off the Holidays at Heritage celebration. On December 2nd, the parade begins at 6 p.m. in the Heritage District. The fun moves to Heritage Park at 7 with a live performance from the Midnight Soul Band. That's followed by a tree lighting and a drone show. As you can see on your screen, there are more fun events that are part of the Holidays at Heritage series. They feature music, movies, photos with Santa, and a whole lot more. Visit irvingevents.org for the specifics. In economic development news, an Irving business is marking a big anniversary. Toyota of Irving is celebrating 55 years. That milestone was in the spotlight as people turned out at the business for the annual Mega Mixer. The dealership invites chambers of commerce from across the area to participate. The event grows each year with more diverse groups getting involved. Attendees network to build new business relationships, and they sample food from local restaurants. Toyota of Irving is a family-owned business.
The Shoemaker family not only stands behind their business, but they're extremely involved in our community. You see what they're doing today to have our nonprofits out here.
The Shoemakers are the epitome of what the community should be doing, and that's giving back.
Toyota of Irving is an original member of both the Irving Las Colinas Chamber and the Irving Hispanic Chamber. We're proud to announce the ICTN team earned 10 awards, including 3 first-place honors, at the recent Texas Association of Telecommunications Officers and Advisors, or TOA Conference. Among the first place awards, this show, City Source, earned top honors as the state's best magazine format series. It's time now to meet our pets of the week. Michael Whiteside is with Irving Animal Services and joins us now. How's it going, Michael?
It's great. How are you today?
Fantastic. I'm excited to see some pets. Who are we going to see today?
First up, we've got Teddy Bear. Teddy Bear is about 8 months old. He is Great Pyrenees Anatolian Shepherd mix, so he's really furry. He's a great little dog. He loves playing with other dogs. He loves playing with people. He's super friendly. He is still a bit of a puppy, so he has some puppy energy. So he'll be great for a family because he'll be great with kids. He'll be great running around if you're active. So he's been here quite a while, so we're just really needing to find him a home.
And our next dog is Whisper. Tell us a little bit about Whisper.
Yeah, so Whisper is one of our short stack dogs. He is, we have him listed as a Basset Hound Terrier mix. He's got this adorable face, a big head, and a long body, but he sits really close to the ground. He's about 2 years old, and he also is great with other dogs. We have him in play yards with other dogs all the time. He's amazing. He loves people. He's going to be another one that's just going to be a really great family dog, and is just really waiting for the perfect family to come along and take him home.
And of course, the holiday season, which is right around the corner. What better way to spend the holidays than with a new pet? And what kind of adoption specials do you have coming up?
Yeah, so starting on November 14th, for that whole week, we're going to be doing a Thankful for Your Pet adoption special where all pets in the shelter 1 year and older will be free to adopt. And so we're hoping that we can get a lot of these amazing animals out into new homes before the holidays really kick into high gear.
And hopefully you can find some turkey flavored treats to give your new little pet. Michael Whiteside, thanks for joining us today.
No, thank you guys so much.
And a reminder, the Animal Care Campus is located at 4140 Valley View Lane. Check out the websites on your screen for hours and to see more adoptable animals. We have several stories we're working on for our next edition of City Source. Ruth Payne is returning to Irving and sharing her ties to history. One of her house guests is tied to the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Our new interview with her is coming up next time on City Source. Remember, you can always email us your thoughts on our stories. The address is ictn@cityofirving.org. Also, find us on YouTube at youtube.com/thecityofirving. We're always adding new content, so it's a good idea to subscribe. And while you're there, hit that like button on the videos you watch and leave us some positive comments. And look for updates on events and initiatives across the major social media platforms at the City of Irving. That's it for this edition of City Source. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.